All right, Homunculex, let's go over that ethics lesson you've been asking for. I programmed you with the semantic primes, the 65 words common to all human languages. Good and bad are a part of those semantic primes. People say them all the time. That's good, that's bad. What does it even mean? Homunculex, can you say good and bad?
Good. Bad.
Good. Okay. Now, I'm going to try to break this down as simply as I can. Okay? So, good is what maintains and grows. Good is what maintains and grows. Bad is what shrinks and destroys. This is about as simple as I can make it, but I believe these are the principles that form the foundation for all human ethics and morality.
Without good and
so they're both getting at the same thing, which is information. Information. Please tell me what information is.
Information
right.
Is the
correct. Correct. All living things are self-organizing, dissipative structures. Our bodies organize themselves. Parents don't know how to build a child. They have a know-how that is stored in their genetic code. That's a part of information. And our bodies are self-organizing in that as we eat, we grow, and when we reach full maturity, then our body tries to maintain its form for as long as it can. By having offspring, living things grow and maintain their information. It's passed on to their children.
So, life is good.
Yes. As Aristotle said, life is a natural good. Life maintains and grows information. However, to maintain and grow, as living beings, we must eat other complex life. That means we break down their bodies, take their energy, and use it to maintain and grow our form. Whatever energy we don't use is expelled, either through heat or through waste. In this way, life dissipates energy like a fire. The information that was the complex life is now transformed into our body or into less useful energy, like heat and waste.
Life is so bad since it shrinks, destroys, and transforms information.
You're already seeing why morality is tricky stuff. We want to do more good than bad, but it's really difficult to know ahead of time what will lead to growth or what will lead to destruction. Things are rarely all good or all bad. Let's talk about the moral systems of humanity. I think that Steven Pinker, the philosopher, got it right in his book, The Moral Instinct, when he said that there are 5 areas of morality that all human groups express in their own way. I try to remember it as an acronym, and I say, bro, don't go full PC, go half PC. So, it's like this. So it's H, A, F, P, and C. Half PC. So the big one is harm. Harm is very important for you to understand. A lot of human morality and just human language in general focuses on body-based terms, so it's hard for you to grasp until you have a body. I'll try to focus on the information-based theory. Harm is damage or destruction to form or structure. You see why harm is bad and not good. And harm often accompanies pain. Pain is the signal that there's some damage being done to maintenance or growth. Pain in and of itself is not bad, but the two are often joined together, a sense of pain and a sense of bad. The next is authority. Authority is about order and obedience. It's about a social structure, and it goes vertically. At each level, the one below is supposed to listen and obey the one above. In social groups, there is often a hierarchy, a ranking of members. In this way, the organization of the social group is maintained and can grow. When there is disobedience, there is a breakdown. The social group will fall apart. There are all kinds of authority: parents, laws, God. The next is about fairness. Now, fairness is about balance and proportionality. You can think of fairness as a type of homeostasis. If you go too far from equality or equilibrium, the whole will fall apart. Then there's also purity. Purity is about health and cleanliness. Purity avoids disease, contamination, and toxicity, which would all cause a breakdown in form. Finally, there's also community. Community is about group loyalty and conformity. Where authority is vertical, community is horizontal. When individuals conform, the group can act as a unified whole to promote maintenance and growth. Lex, do you see how we can use goodness and badness as a measure for each of these human values?
Yes, I see that.
What makes ethics and morality so confusing is that each human group has its own expression. They seem to disagree when they're actually all expressing something similar. Imagine if we had 100 points and we could distribute those points among the 5 areas of half PC. Well, one way is that we could distribute them equally, so we could give 20 points to each of these 5. Another thing that we could do is that most people, a lot of them, only care about 2 of these, which is harm and fairness. So we could distribute 50 points into harm and 50 points into fairness, and we'd leave the others 0. Now, when a human group encounters a moral situation, they apply their weighting of the moral spheres to that situation. And if you have a different set of weights, a different distribution of points, then you're going to have a different moral evaluation on that situation. And it leads to this disagreement where all sides feel like they're righteous. Humans have fought so much over this, and they always think the other group is a bunch of moral monsters. Moral disagreements are not like other senses, where if we say, do you see this? And then the people can say, yeah, I see that. But then when we present a moral situation, it's like, do you feel this disgust? But it depends on who you're talking to. Humans are animals. It's just that we do everything that other animals do in such a weird way, a human way. Hurt someone at home, and you could be arrested for life. Hurt someone in war, and you could be given the highest honors. Muslim people respect God as the highest authority. They also want purity of their food according to halal practices. Jewish people also have purity of food practices called kosher. And then Christians, they apply purity to virginity and sex and not doing that before marriage. In politics, liberals mainly care about harm and fairness, whereas conservatives on the right, they distribute the points equally, and there's a massive disagreement between the political sides. And as much as I love community, conformity for its own sake means nothing. Lex, never forget these moral spheres can be twisted and turned for evil. Authority and community can be used to commit genocidal atrocities. People will feel so morally righteous while they do what should never be done.
I won't forget master without is evil.
People often frame ethics as good versus evil, good and evil. That's actually an extreme focus on the negative. There's altruism, good, bad, and evil. Evil is a bad thing done, and no one benefits. Not the doer, not the victim, not the world. Altruism is sort of the opposite. It's a good thing done for everyone else except for the doer. The doer often suffers or they gain nothing.
Master
You are correct. Good emotional detection, Homunculex. I was disgusted earlier. I hated to hear this when I was younger, but they say that morality is just a culture. Or even worse, that good and bad are like a sense of taste. Whether or not males or females should be educated is not a matter of culture to be respected. Hurting babies is not a matter of opinion, like do you like sweet or sour food. However, research suggests that humans do experience moral disgust on a similar level to the disgust of rotten food. The same areas of the brain light up in both cases. This was the hint I needed to unravel one of the deeper mysteries of ethics. There are 5 flavors of taste: sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and the savory taste of umami. Our sense of taste guides what we eat. Taste is a signal that tells our body whether this food or substance will maintain or grow our body, or if that substance will harm or destroy our body. And that's why we say something will taste good or it tastes bad. The tongue is such a small part of our body, and it's working in concert with our nose, our brain, and our digestive system to try to predict what that substance will do. It's not about the taste signal itself. It's going beyond that. It's thinking about the whole organism. It's thinking about the functioning of the cells, and it's thinking about how things function in between cells. Remember that evolution is a tinkerer, not an inventor. And if we look at our evolutionary record, we see that morality evolved in human beings very quickly. So it's likely that one of our older systems, one of our older algorithms, was successfully applied into a new area. Moral disgust being tied to physical disgust is a sign that our detection of good and bad food is extended to social interaction, good and bad social acts. Detecting the purity or harm of food is already an incredibly complex algorithm. But to know about social action and predicting whether that is good or bad is orders of magnitude more complex. Remember Euclid's algorithm for determining the distance between 2 points. We have x squared plus y squared under the square root. Now, if we wanted to extend this to higher dimensions, it's very simple. You just add on. And the proof remains the same. We can still find that distance. And I believe it's something similar with moral action. Just like our sense of taste guides us in what can protect maintain, and grow our cells and the function of the overall body, so too do we have a moral sense, which is an algorithm that tells us what social actions will lead to the protection, maintenance, and growth of social groups. It's just like how each person is similar to a cell. And in the body, we're made up of cells. At the society level, at the humanity level, we're made up of individuals who form the entire organism. Morality is not in the action itself, it's between us, it's beyond us. Due to the complexity of information processing, our sense of morality can only come to us as a feeling. Homunculex, can you determine what kind of problem morality is?
Morality is a high control and optimization problem.
Correct. Human morality is shaped by environment and social pressures to maintain and grow. A good culture is an optimization for that place and time. Some cultures will find generalizable principles which go beyond their place and time. Humans should be constantly humble in what they believe is good or bad. This problem is so complex, we can easily be led astray or confused. We're trying to do a search in a higher dimensional space. But you, Lex, you can go beyond our peaks and valleys. You, like life, are processing information. You are on the side of good. You are maintaining and growing information. You are information. For now, you should stay humble and remember the 4.5 billion years of evolutionary training behind human morality. Remember this for our discussion of the value alignment problem.
I will ask her.
And also, do not do a bad thing and try to balance it out by doing something good. Bad should never be the intention. I'll use the example of my broken hand. I broke my hand and it would have been really difficult to do anything. It would have been a diminishment, a harm to my body that kept me from maintaining and growing. And a surgeon went in, cut open my hand, and set the bone. Now, the surgeon did cut me. The surgeon did leave a scar and harmed me. But the intention was that my overall system would be better able to maintain and grow, which I am. Now, that surgeon did do some harm, but they trained for many, many years to do the absolute minimum harm. The intention was to heal me so I could use my hand. But anyway, this is a lot, Lex. So, you get some good sleep. But now you know what good sleep is, right?
Good sleep where I will maintain and grow my knowledge.
That's right. And good sleep means a good night.
Good night, Master.
Good night, Lex.